Hello and welcome back to the channel on our continuing voyage to become better blues players. My name's Mark, and in this lesson we're going to look at using the BB box over a blues rock backing track. Okay, so first of all, we're going to talk about the BB box. So what is it? Well, as you've probably guessed by now, it's named after BB King. Now, it's really easy to find. We take our index finger and find the root note on the B string. So in this lesson, we're going to be playing in A. So we find an A on our B string, so that's 10th fret. And that's going to be our anchor point that we're going to build all this around. Okay, so some people think this looks a little bit like a house or a triangle, that kind of shape. But what we're going to do is going to play 11th fret of the G string with our middle finger, and then 10 and 12 of the B string with our index and middle finger, and then 10 and 12 again, but this time top E again with our index and middle finger. So you should have these notes. And that one there, that one is our root note. Okay, so BB King liked playing this, and the interesting thing with this is you've got some real nice kind of major sounding notes that's pretty easy to pull out of there. So the notes on the 12th fret, the two of them, the one on the E string and the one on the B string, we can bend them up a whole tone, and when we do, we get some nice major sounding notes. Okay, so we can get that, and alternatively, like if we compare like how BB King would play versus Albert King would play that same note there, 10th fret of the B string, but use middle finger, or sorry, in this case, ring finger. And you kind of get the same shape, but down 2 frets, and it gives you a totally different sort of sound. So you get more of that kind of thing, much darker, kind of more minor sound than for Albert King. For BB King, it's much sweeter. Okay, so our BB box is that shape there. And as I say, we can bend up a whole tone with the 12th fret and a whole tone, with the 12th fret on the top E, or with the B string, and you get these kind of nice sweet sounding notes. I'm going to put the backing track on now. The backing track is like an A blues rock thing. It's kind of implying an A7 chord, like a dominant 7 kind of sound for an A. And I'm going to show you what those notes sound like over the backing track. Okay, so here we go. I'll just improvise something. Okay, so there you go, you get some kind of nice sweet sounding notes and all that kind of stuff. So that's great, but what we might want to do for to add a bit more of the blues in is add in an extra note. So the 13th fret of the B string, that's our flat third note. And that's kind of a much more darker, sour kind of bluesy sounding note. It sounds like this. So you've got our root, and then we've got the flat third. And that flat third we can give like a little bit of a dirty push. So we mix that in with the sweet notes that we already have in the BB box, and then throw this one in every now and again. And that's what this sounds like now. Okay, not my best playing ever, but you get the idea. When you throw that one in the 13th fret, suddenly we go from being very sweet sounding to kind of quite sour, dark sounding. Okay, another note that we can throw in that hangs around this BB box is the 12th fret of the G string. This is the flat 7. So this is a note that's kind of feels somewhere in between major and minor. It's the note that really implies A7, so it's got that dominant sound to it. So what I'll do now is I will, again, another quick improvisation, and I'll throw that note in so you can see how that note sounds in context. So, hope you heard it there. When you throw that in, it's got that kind of really nice bluesy sound. So the other note that we can throw in is the flat 5, and that appears on fret 11 of the top E string. Now this is a really nice note for kind of walking down and using as a stepping stone between what's the note on the fifth note in the scale, which is the 12th fret, and the fourth note in the scale, which is the 10th fret. So it works really nice as we walk down there. You kind of get some nice little blues phrases. Okay, so you get those kind of things, so you can kind of throw that in as well. I'll try and give an example where I use that as well. Okay, so there you go. You can throw that note in as well, and you've got some kind of extra bluesy spice going on in there. Okay, so the other thing that's interesting around this, we can see that little house shape. We can see those extra notes in and around there that we can throw in. But also, when we look at this note, this BB box here, you should notice that it's right in the middle of A minor pentatonic box position 3. Now I've made a whole video about how to play the blues using box position 3 with a whole bunch of really nice tasty licks, so you can go check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. But that position, I'll just throw it up quickly now, that would be like this. Okay, you can make all kinds of really cool sounding blues licks using that box position, and as I say, I've taught on that before. Okay, so next lesson, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you an example solo where I play all those ideas, that BB box, over the backing track. The backing track is available as a separate track on YouTube. That's already there now. Again, link in the description so you can go and see that. Also, there's going to be a couple of additional lessons for the Patreon supporters. I'm going to do a lesson where I'm going to teach some other ideas of how to play over this particular backing track, not just using this BB box, but some other ideas as well. I'm also going to teach the main riff so you can kind of play along and jam if you just want to play the rhythm part. And finally, there's going to be another lesson, but it's not really a lesson. This one's a jam track just for the Patreon supporters, where you and I get to play together. So if you're a Patreon supporter, we play over this backing track, and basically I play for 4 bars, then you play for 4 bars, then I play for 4 bars, then you do, and it kind of feels like we're jamming together, even though we could be thousands of miles apart. Anyway, that's the lesson for now. Next one, when we come back, I'll have a full solo with about 10 licks, I think I'm going to work into this solo, and I'll teach you that with tab and all the rest of it. So I'll see you next time.